Hey guys, it's Matt. This is the Laugh at Reality variety show. Many of you have sent lots of stuff over the past 2 months. I'm completely backed up in what didn't sound too good in what I need to show you. So we'll go through 12 to 15 things. Again, I can't thank everybody for everything that they sent in, but I know Rhonda did this for us in her AI program. Bill, it's just a mock. Bill, it's okay. It's okay to use the AI art programs for something funny once in a while. I know it's like a Ouija board to you. And how come it was just Pam that came in with the elephant? This fair maiden didn't come in this Amish dress. Why did the AI show this? This isn't an accurate depiction of me and Pam, but I like what's shown here. And she could not get the elephant to display the one eye. Up first today is the Quantum of Conscience Life and Health segment. Want to delay aging? Get castrated. Want to delay aging? As we all do. Get castrated, scientists say. According to new research, there may be a surprisingly effective way for men to increase their lifespans. Oh, but it requires a pretty severe alteration to the physical body that may not appeal to everybody. What the hell? That assumes the way that's written that it would appeal to some people. Oh, that's very appealing to me. Cut my balls off. A pretty severe alteration. What bot wrote this? It's not like taking a mole off. It's chopping your balls off. That's not pretty severe. That's hardcore severe. Sorry. An international team led by researchers from the University of Otago in New Zealand, that's a correspondence university, were able to show that castration of male sheep delays the aging of DNA, and the same principles could apply to humans as well. Why'd they have to experiment on the poor sheep? That ain't right. Go look at the old ancient texts, the old literature. We know from the eunuchs. We know from the eunuchs that carried the grapes and shit into the harems. They lived longer. You didn't have to do that to the poor sheep. Just look at the ancient literature on the eunuchs. Guys, this isn't made up or made on some AI program. These are real books available for sale. $15 each. Hope Rides Again. At the top right it says, An Obama and Biden Mystery. Here's the first one. Hope Never Dies. Top right. An Obama and Biden Mystery from the New York Times bestseller Andrew Schaefer. What sort of a download is he on? Well, the download to make money. Because the people, there it is. I zoomed in on it so you probably didn't believe me. An Obama Biden mystery, like the Hardy Boys, some sort of left-wing Hardy Boys or something. This is not from an AI program. Think about the actual type of person that would buy something like this. Erin, who works at the bookstore, she's seen them. She can identify them like Invasion of the Body Snatchers. There's a certain type of person that would actually buy something like this. Can you imagine how degenerate and low somebody would have to be to pick up this book and then actually buy it? Mommy, can we buy the Obama and Biden mysteries? I want Hope Rides Again. No, Jack, not today. We have to go. I want Hope Rides Again. Yeah, I want Hope Rides Again, the Obama and Biden mysteries. These books get 4.5 stars on Amazon and 665 ratings. You could be 666. Book 2 of 2. It's a Goodreads choice and, of course, an award nominee. In the sequel to the New York Times best-selling novel Hope Never Dies, Obama and Biden reprise their roles as BFFs, best friends forever. They hate each other, turned detectives as they, just the facts, ma'am. Just your liberal vote, ma'am. As they chase Obama's stolen cell phone through the streets of Chicago and right into a vast conspiracy. Guys, I can't take it much longer. I have a certain amount of talent for talking extemporaneously and writing. I can't take it. All this breaking down reality. We know enough. I'm going to go work for the left. I can't take it. All you have to do is come up with some bullshit like this. Who wrote it? And you get the awards, the key to the city. You get whacked off in the coat closet. You get the nominations. You get the money. I can't take it. The struggles of us separating from reality, diving off the back of the ship of fools. I'm going to take my talents to the left. I mean, you don't think I could come up with something like this? The left would love me. Can't you just blend back in with the body snatched? I'm Matt, everybody at some point has doubts and they think about rowing back to the ship of fools. I think I'm going to row back. I can't take it. This guy, how much money is this guy making? He's going to see the play at night and he's getting whacked off of the coat closet. We're struggling. I'm going back in and I'm going to work for the left. Well, You know I was kidding. There's no going back. And they would identify us as a foreign intruder, or the way a white blood cell identifies like a splinter or something. You can't go back. You cannot. Not that anybody would want to. But what got my attention here was they both worked together as BFF turned detectives as they chase Obama's stolen cell phone through the streets of Chicago. Why is Obama, think about this, think about it, man. Why is he so intent on getting his cell phone back? Why doesn't he just go to freaking Sprint Wireless or whatever and get another one? Because here's why. They don't tell you this. Because there's certain pictures on that phone of Michael and certain pictures of Michael that say it wouldn't be great if they got out, if you understand what I'm saying. A little snap below the belt line. Yeah, that's what's going on here. I doubt they come clean in the book and tell you exactly why they're so interested in recovering Obama's stolen cell phone, but you and I know why. Guys, I haven't done it every day, and many times when I make a video, I'll forget to go over and check on Dubuque and Duluth to make sure they're okay by going to CNN or another news website. But every single time I've gone, say I go 50% of the time or remember to, it's been a headline about Trump. I mean, every single time. Trump's mass firings at several agencies remain on hold. This is the game that they play. We've talked about this many times. At the bottom of the picture, it says, the appellate court's ruling is a major setback for the president's efforts to shrink the federal government. To his supporters, to this army of idiots, he's so many things he wants to do, but the courts keep blocking. Wants to build the wall, courts step in and block, courts step in and block. They've literally just rewritten civics, how the executive is supposed to work with the legislative, is supposed to work with the judiciary, as it was laid down in that thing that maybe existed at some point called the Constitution. Now they just make it up. The president wants to do a bunch of things, but the supporters flying their flags said the liberal courts are blocking him. But it's just, they've literally just rewritten everything and they just make it all up. If there was any way the Constitution, or what was, who knows what was laid out over 200 years ago, but the executive has certain powers that the courts can't block. They're literally just making stuff up, where the courts can just block everything, and the supporters flying their welded flags on the back of pickup truck. Oh, he was going to do so much, but those liberal courts, they always have a reason as to why it will not get done. And the courts, the liberal courts, is the reason they came up with 15 years ago, every president does certain things, and when it was Obama, then the right blocked it. That's just what they made up. It has no basis in any civics class or how the Constitution says the three branches should work. They just made it up, and the people that welded their flags to the pickup trucks, they buy it. Of course they do. Trump fires National Portrait Gallery director Kim Saget, saying she is a strong supporter of DEI. That's her there in that. Oh, God, it's so, I couldn't zoom in on the picture because it's spaghetti scrimmages. Some sort of tight-fitting purple outfit where her ass is the size of Arkansas. Honey, I'm sorry, at 60-something, you shouldn't be wearing anything. Even if you were in shape, you shouldn't be wearing that, honey. Thanks. What is it? Is it the doggy? The musk and the doggy? That'll save us a lot of money. Trump fires National Portrait Gallery director Kim Saget. Oh, that'll save us a lot of money. Thanks a lot. Thanks, Musk. Thanks, doggy unit for. Yeah. Oh, come on. And who would get into that? Look at that outfit. Don't look at it too closely if you're eating. Here you go. It's what we just talked about. Meanwhile, a federal appeals court said tonight that the administration's plans to conduct mass firings at multiple agencies will remain on hold after the court decided a request to freeze a lower court's order that halted the terminations at more than a dozen agencies. Oh, he wants to move forward. Those courts are holding him back. Let me say it one more time. The way civics works today and as it's presented is just made up. They just are doing whatever they want to do, and the people, why would the people notice? Bullet point, more tariffs. Oh, sure. President Donald Trump said this evening he will increase tariffs on foreign steel to 50%, doubling the current rate. The president made the announcement at a Pennsylvania steel plant where he is touting a new partnership between U.S. Steel and Japan-based Nippon Steel. Now, two things are going to come out of this tariff thing. The way it typically works, although there is probably a 30% chance of the more dire consequence coming, I'll talk about that in a second, is all this stuff on tariffs, and every time he makes an announcement, the stock market goes down and then it roars back up, and how fake that all is. 2 years from now, people wake up and go, all that tariff stuff and the prices spiked on things, what happened? Nothing. It just kind of, just like everything else, just kind of went away. Just kind of, because it's all a play. It's all bullcrap. Is there actually a Trump supporter that's still here that believes it's a real president in an Oval Office making decisions on their own? Is there anybody still here? I can't imagine there is. There's always somebody that pops up. It's just a complete script. It'll just go away, or it is possible because tariffs, remember, as we talked about, say, 2 or 3 months ago, that was the major factor, or what was to blame for the 1929 Great Depression that lasted 10 years. Not the cause of it so much as why as it was prolonged for 10 or 11 years. It would have corrected itself in 3 to 4 years, but because of the protectionism and the tariffs and doubling down on keeping out foreign goods, it just dragged out. The protectionism dragged out the Great Depression. And what maybe they don't know if they'll do it, but all this tariff stuff and protectionism, of course, if they decide they're going to collapse the economy in favor of a digital currency and eliminate all debt, the 38 trillion will be wiped out, all student debt will be wiped out, they go to a whole new currency. If they decide to do that per the back year or two of the Trump administration, then all this tariff stuff, the crisis will be blamed on this. The crisis, they're just following the 1929 script all over again. The reality has to follow old scripts. It can't do anything new. I don't know if it lacks creativity or it's just part of its role. It has to operate inside certain confines. The Not Milk is a role player here. Either way, it doesn't matter. Even if it collapses down, we've talked about it a million times. Just hope, it's a good idea to have 6 to 8 weeks of stuff in the house. Don't go running into the grocery store to fight over the last can of cat food or the last can of tuna fish. Make sure you've got just 2 months. They'll make it scary. Put your feet up, laugh the whole way, and what a coincidence. Just 5 or 6 weeks into the crisis, when everything looks dire and all the inner cities are being looted, they'll have the new currency ready to go, and it'll swoop in and save the day. It'll be scary for a few weeks, but it will all be a big act and a play. So put your feet up and laugh. But it's a good idea to have the 2 months. Not that, that's nothing, guys. If anybody's listening, well, that's real prepping. No. The preppers associated with our community, they have 10 years of supplies. They have hundreds and hundreds of ammunition bricks, thousands. They have bunkers. They have 10 years is actually not even that much for a real hardcore prepper. I'm saying I have 2 months on hand, so you don't have to run and fight over the last can of tuna fish when they decide to put forth their contrived and concocted crisis. 2 months isn't prepping. That's just common sense. That's not real prepping. Final bullet point before we leave the news, whatever that is, for a while and do something more fun. Musk's departure. Trump and Elon Musk spoke in the Oval Office earlier today as the tech billionaire's formal government role ends in the doggy unit. The doggy unit to save us money. Yeah, he was real instrumental. And where's the savings, by the way? Did you get a check in the mail? Thanks a lot. I didn't. With Trump heaping praise on Musk's work to overhaul government spending, and both men indicating Musk will still serve as an informal advisor. The Tesla CEO has acknowledged this week that he sometimes finds himself at odds with administration decisions, blah, 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 blah. If you were able to pin down Donald Trump in terms of an interview or pin down Elon Musk and say, tell me what exactly was done in terms of this restructuring, there would be nothing they could give you. Absolutely nothing. As we've talked about, Elon Musk he can't even name 10 people that work in each of the supposed 10 globally leading companies that he owns. He is the definition of a puppet and useful idiot. You guys may remember our friend Andrew follows the still coveting groups, the little pockets of resistance that want to hold on desperately to what we had in 2020 and 2021. And this was even surprising to me. Every 6 months or so, Andrew sends us an update, and we appreciate him keeping an eye on this stuff for us. BSD Canada 2025, where their logo is a little devil holding the Canadian flag. That's awfully strange, but it's some sort of developers conference for Unix, certain types of coding, the internet. BSD Can is the definitive BSD event in North America. Welcomes BSD Unix developers, blah, blah, blah. Get direct access to friendly people. Okay, big conference coming up. It starts in just a few days. What did Andrew find? Oh no. The BSD Canada conference does require you to wear a mask. In the conference venues, except for food, drink, see below, that is well fitted and worn proper. This is the stuff they outlined in the second part of 2020. It's like with certain groups and certain people, they hold on to it like nothing ever changed. It was amazing to us how quickly the world kind of went back to normal. We'll talk about that maybe on the back end. Well fitted, worn properly, covering mouth and nose, that meets international medical and scientific standards, N95, KN95, so everybody, there's no exhalation vent. Do you have an exhalation vent on you? You son of a bitch. Get out. Get the F out. This isn't like recommended for the conference. I mean, we haven't seen this, guys, for over 3 years. BSD Can does not require you to wear a mask. Oh, okay, this is good. Here's where the reasonableness will come. The reasonableness will come in, Matt. Outdoors, but we're indoors 16 hours a day. Outside the conference venues, thanks a lot. When I go on my own and drive 100 miles down the road, I don't have to continue to wear my mask. Thanks a lot. During the closing reception, which is well ventilated and open to the outside. There's some sort of open and retractable roof or something. While you are the speaker or presenter, oh, thanks. If you go up and speak at a podium, you don't have to wear. For the brief moment required to take a drink, 1 moment, and we'll be watching while you are actively eating. If you are appropriately spaced out from other attendees, this is literally what was here in the third and fourth quarter and first quarter and second quarter of 2021, back half of 2020. I mean, to hold on to what was to this degree after literally, at least in the United States, it just went away 3 years ago. This is similar to when Andrew follows the still coveting groups that almost want to hold on to it. This is very strange. Again, I was in the hospital recently. Not a word about it. Nothing. Just nothing. Like it never didn't ask me about, did you rent the action movie with Carl Weathers, the Action Jackson 8? Nothing. Just and then you see these anomalies pop up. And look at this hardcore approach and language we haven't seen since the fourth quarter of 2020. If you are unable to wear a mask, we deeply regret excluding you this year. Get out! Get the fuck out! What? I mean, I haven't seen this. This is like they're trying to go back to 2020. We hope you can participate remotely if you don't want to wear a mask via the streaming options that we provide. You go out to your car, sit in a car and stream if you don't want to wear it. Get out! What the hell? I mean, this is like Andrew finds little pockets of things in this reality that has not left 2020. And I don't know why we appreciate him finding it. He sends me something every 6 months. I hope he keeps doing it because this is just, I don't even know how to talk about this. This is just so bizarre. But it doesn't surprise me that it's Canada. The absolute hardcore liberal bastions in this world will be more inclined to hold on to this sort of thing. Austin, Texas, as opposed to the rest of Texas. This behavior absolutely goes hand in hand with what we would call the liberal bastions, or where you would put your push pin on a map, like the Nancy Pelosi district. Doesn't surprise me that it's Canada one bit. Installed century continues and nobody seems to notice. This is a recent or current Life magazine. I didn't even know Life magazine was still around. The Karate Kid, every uplifting movie. And they also talk about the rise of the show Cobra Kai, every uplifting movie. Always going back to the old classics. No one talking about why there isn't been a new classic in almost 20 years. I mean, there's some stuff that breaks through every once in a while. I was talking with Greg about The Gentleman with Hugh Grant. It is very similar to like a Pulp Fiction type or Snatch, that sort of Lock, Stock, and Three Smoking Guns or It's that sort of thing, and it actually broke through, and it's as good as the ones that came before it. But that sort of thing is so rare. It's per stalled century. They always go back to the nostalgia, what existed in the last century. Nothing to take its place in this new millennium or century. Where in some way, this seems like a joke, but in some way they moved reality off to the side, or they're trying to stall out something to get to a finish line. I don't want to turn this into a midnight reality, but these creeps, these are some low life creeps that we have to deal with here. And all of the whole stalled century push is it's part of their spell of some kind. But if this channel could be dedicated to nothing other than the Not Nilk's attempt to bring back the past in an effort we call stalled century. It seems like in almost every single video recently, somebody new pops up. What is Not Nilk? Although the subscriber numbers, again, it goes -10 to +10. It just doesn't go anywhere. I guess some of the old guard says, I've had enough of this jackass. And then a couple new people come in, keep it about even. What is Not Nilk? And, 3 minutes or less. I guess I haven't done this for 6 months. First off, the name is Clinton backwards. It didn't deserve a cool name like Megatron or Pierre de la Violette. It is Clinton backwards. It's a dumb name, but that's the point. It's supposed to have a dumb name. Didn't deserve anything better. It is very similar to a Christian's notion of Satan. It is the spiritual adversary that's here with us, that's out to block us in terms of what we're supposed to do in this life, in this incarnation. It's not an organized intelligence, in my opinion, at least not here in this plane. Its component parts and its minions, its systems, its governments, all unaware, or 99% unaware of what they're serving, that they're actually taking part in what the spiritual adversary wants to put the busyness and the burdens on the real spiritual people to distract them from what they're supposed to do. The millions of minions and creeps, and they're not aware of this, even this thing we call Not Nilk. They would think we're crazy. But in a way, I don't think it's like a defined intelligence, but I don't mean to suggest it's not organized. It would have to be extremely organized. Look what it's done to culture and society. But the point is, there's no bad guy to point at. There's no final room where some thing sits on a throne. There's no boss level or anything like that. We know that. And even those that participate in creating the society and the culture that gets in the way of your spiritual journey, that blocks you from what you're supposed to do, right down to the DMV and the driver's center, all the way up through Trump and there, at most levels, 99 point whatever percent, they would think we're crazy or I'm crazy. There's no force that guides me, and you say I'm on a download. That's ridiculous. They know not what they do. And basically, even you could even say friends and family, general people in society, anybody on the ship of fools, that is the palace guard, that believes in this reality, that believes in its systems and its governments, and it's stay safe, and it's the science will win, and anybody that believes that is Not Nilk, is not directly, but is pushing Not Nilk agenda and what the Not Nilk wants, helping to build out society in the way the Not Nilk sees fit. So almost all of our friends or family are, I wouldn't say they're Not Nilk directly, but they're serving it. There's no bad guy, guys. That's the difference between where we have gone in the 1st through 5th grade truther. Always, it's Tavistock, it's the secret societies, it's the Freemasons, it's all these different groups that if wants you, the not milk here, this thing here wants you to point, oh, it's the Jays, it's the, and Bibi Netanyahu, it's those people. And if you're pointing at a specific bad guy, you have fallen for its trick. That is 100% as far as I'm concerned. There is no specific bad guy. And if you've been brainwashed into pointing out, this is a bad guy over here. Oh, look at this secret society. Look at Israel, in the Middle East. If you're pointing at that, you are doing exactly what it wants. Congratulations. I record the local, it's called Action News here, just for the weather. And it usually comes at 25 minutes in. I have to fast forward through, and okay, here's the Diddy updates. I pause it, and I go back a minute. It's just the same vague, nebulous nonsense. Now there's this personal assistant they call to protect her identity, Mia. And she was forced to stay up 5 days in a row, and she wasn't allowed to leave his side, and she was threatened by him and sexually abused by him and this and that, and she has to stay in the home, but she's not allowed to go to sleep. And here's what, okay, forget all that. What makes no sense is, these would have to be state charges. It's this federal racketeering thing. If the federal, whatever they're trying to push, the racketeering charges and other federal charges in the federal courtroom, why all this testimony about whatever he was abusing his assistant? That is not a federal charge. Like, okay, well, Matt, they're going to take that, the state is going to take him to trial after the feds. Maybe, I don't know, but why is it even coming up? In the federal, they're throwing every bit of all the horrible things he's done, which to me don't relate to the defined federal charges. To me, it's like when we just said a few minutes back, just makes up the fact that the executive can be blocked and Trump can be blocked via just a court decision in a San Francisco courtroom. So Trump says, oh, I would like to do that, but now this little San Francisco court has blocked me. How they just make that up. It's almost like they're just making this up, like redefining what a courtroom is, and nobody's pushing back. All the attorneys and lawyers in this country, I'm no genius. Why aren't they asking some of the basic questions that I'm asking? Okay, he might have abused this Mia. These are hopefully state charges are coming against him, but how is that even relevant in the federal case of racketeering or whatever the feds are trying to prove? It's totally bizarre, folks. The bigger issue is not in terms of everything we understand how this reality works, whether it be the Constitution, law itself. The Not Milk is trying to blur and break down just basic standards as to how society works. I sat here for a minute. Let me summarize in case anybody's not following what I'm saying here. This is a federal courtroom, is my understanding. The federal charges, racketeering, there's certain charges that are federal. He might be a real asshole. He is, of course, and abused this Mia, his assistant, and he did this to Cassidy, whatever. He did all these bad things, but that has nothing. The federal case should be focused on the federal evidence. If he abused his assistant, that has nothing to, that might show him as a real asshole and a bad guy, but that has nothing to do with the federal case. And why is it even being introduced in the federal courtroom? It's like everything is breaking down. I don't know, guys. And again, I just came upon this when I was looking for weather. I'm not looking at this daily. No way will I. I think it's clear what they're trying to do. Hey, Not Milk portion of reality, if you're listening, you have derailed, my friend. Pope Leo the 14th has been elected as the leader of the Roman Catholic Church. Yeah, we know. But the job comes with, oh no, a $33,000 monthly paycheck. That pay stacks up to the salaries of U.S. presidents and university chancellors. Well, he should make at least what they make. He controls them. What are they thinking? But the pontiff also gets unique perks like free meals all day long. Free meals all day. Why did the bot have to write that? If it's free, it's free. You think if he calls at 2 a.m, they say, it's 2:01, Pope. We're closing up down here. There's a pack of crackers under your bedpan. Of course it's open to him all day. Who wrote this? He gets a free Pope mobile and his own private Idaho, his own private pharmacy and more. You think does he have to negotiate a health plan Oh my God, you've got to be kidding me. Not no part of reality. It's getting laughable. It's getting laughable. Well, it was laughable 15 years ago. Look at this. Here's a related article. I don't think we're gonna scroll down. I'm gonna read it, guys. I'll tell you what it basically says. Will Pope Leo the 14th pay taxes on his $33,000 a month salary? Talking about he's an American citizen, American expats abroad. If you work overseas if you're an employee of Exxon or whatever in the United States and you work overseas in Africa somewhere, you used to got to pay U.S. taxes. It's saying if he can't find a way to become exempt for U.S. taxes, he could have to pay up to $130,000 of U.S. taxes because he's going to be living in the Vatican, of course, as the Pope. He can say, "I'm still living in the United States. I like my apartment there." Some people are saying there's no exceptions, even for the Pope. And if he goes on the Vatican is its own country, of course, inside of Italy, the Italian police, it has no jurisdiction. It's its complete own sovereign country. And if he doesn't pay the U.S. taxes, he might have to go on the run and stay forever inside the Vatican walls where they can't get to him, some sort of sanctuary, the way Snowden was kept in some sort. Was it Snowden? No, it was Julian Assange, I guess, was held up in the Ecuador embassy. This Pope's going to be held up in the Vatican forever. Hey, Pope Leo, if you're listening to me, and I know you're a listener, if you should, but you can find the money, man. Pay those U.S. taxes. You don't want to be stuck like some fugitive in the Vatican forever. It's not that big. And they'll arrest you as soon as you go outside the walls. American tax officials will arrest you in Rome, and they'll use Interpol to do it. Pope, just pay. Don't be cheap, Pope. It's like, what is that from Coming to America? Hello, King? The kid, your son Akeem just came home with Lisa. They're here at my house. What does he say? Jamaica Estates, right? Is that where, what is it? Mr. James, was it James Carter from Good Times? I don't forget his name. I like that actor. Hello, King. The kid, your son Akeem is here with my daughter, my lovely daughter Lisa. Sorry. Hello, Pope. This is the IR. I mean, are you kidding me? I mean, guys, if we ever lose our ability to laugh at it, we are really, really in trouble. Thanks for listening.